Good evening, lovely tubers. Welcome back to another Market Watch here. I'm joined by X, one of my good friends here in Syracuse, New York. He was actually the first Yu-Gi-Oh player that I met in New York prior to moving to New York. I used to live in Houston, Texas. And he's a really special guy. He's got a lot of cool things to say. So I'm going to hand it over to him to showcase 3 of his selections.
What's going on, guys? This is Xavier. You can call me Player X. I run OTK Machines, which is a machine-style, one-turn kill-based group. And you guys can check out some of my content on YouTube at OTK Machines _YGO or OTK Machines _YGO on Instagram. But without any further ado, I appreciate Antonio, aka the White Mexican, for letting me come out here and show some selects off for you guys. So while I'm here, I got a couple picks. So I wanted to grab a couple picks for when other people do market watches. They don't usually tell you how long you should be holding cards for, or like what's a good market price to like let go of cards at once you do have them. So I've got a couple picks here for you that are, one of them is going to be a low card, a high card, and like a mid card, and we're going to hold them for an extended amount of a time. So the first card we have here is Fujinki Ashishima. So this that is gone out of Dual Overload. As you can see, when it first came out, it was probably like 50 cents to close to $1. But over time, since the last couple of years, it has been slowly creeping up, and the effects are pretty good for it. So you can bring out what is Link Summon. You can special summon 2 monsters with the same level, one from graveyard, one from hand, with their effects negated, and you immediately XYZ summon. So this card will be used with Splite when Splite comes out into the TCG and finally gets imported over here. So if you think that $3.50 is a high price for it now, wait till the Spike deck gets a hold of it and then shoots it up to about $10 to $15, which is, in my opinion, a very good target range for this card. Just you see absolutely no play right now except for in Galaxy Photon. But you can tell that once these $4, $5 copies are gone, it's going to start shooting up to, let's see here, on the 3rd page, it goes quickly up to about $7. And even on the last page, you can see it hits 10 right before it cuts out, which I think is going to be the new price point of it when we get to the new deck. So you're going to be holding this one. You want to pick these up for about maybe $1.50 to $2 if you can, and probably hold these up until about when the release of Splite comes. I would say maybe a couple weeks after is when you want to start letting them go, because people have to pick up the deck. People have to figure out, make sure they the right builds and everything. But this is probably going to be a staple in this deck, in my opinion, and I would definitely keep my eyes on this. As far as another like kind of low card now that might go up, I like to bring up King of the Swamp. King of the Swamp has a couple different printings. There is the Ancient Sanctuary Rare, there's Yugi World, and Dark Revelation Common, as well as Legendary decks. And then there's also the Fusion Enforcers Super Rare, which is probably one of the better pickups as far as for this card for like competitive players. I would also advise, if you already have the dual terminal copy of 4, I would hold on to that common, as it's probably already starting to see a little bit of a spike. Yeah, so yeah, that spike is coming crazy now. As you can see, the print's probably selling for about $20 to $35, it looks like. With the lowest listing on market being $30 for the dual terminal 4. So if you don't already have the dual terminal, if you want to risk it for the biscuit and just flex a little bit for when the deck comes, you could probably pick one up for about $20 to $25. I see as a good price. But when the Tear Elements get imported into the TCG, I can expect this card to probably shoot up the dual terminal, probably at least a $50 to $60 card. You can tell just by how all the dual terminals are for their original sets, that not only are they exclusive printing, but they are also hard to get. So I can expect that one to go a little bit higher. But my focus,
that's incredible for so near mint for the Hobby League 1 super rare variants of King. They're going for, there's one for 100.
100, right? Yeah.
And then there's one listing of 1 copy for 100, and then it goes to 195.
Yeah,
and then 200.
It almost doubles, yeah.
Yeah,
and
so
I think at the last page it's like something like 300 or something. So like, yeah, Hobby League, another copy where I don't really recommend picking up Hobby League if you plan on playing the deck. But if you would like to, if you don't even own the Hobby Elite cards, 100% all the Hobby Elite cards are very good pickups. You may be spending a little bit of a premium price on them, but your investment will be safe knowing that they will not be reprinted, that they don't get any more easier to find, and like the more that you find them, the harder they usually are. So they will definitely retain your value at 100%. But especially when the tear elements get imported into the TCG, this card will be spiking like crazy. So I would grab your Fusion Enforcers Supers, probably around the $8 to $9 if you can. They're already looking to be about, I want to say $10. Yeah, so about $10 to $12, depending on if you want to moderately or lightly played. So definitely, I would get to those ones as soon as you're able to, if you plan on playing the tear elements deck. And the very last card I have for you guys today, this is a quick little reminder, is this penny stock cards. So the last card I have would be Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. For all my Cyber Dragon players, you guys know what I'm talking about. But this card just had another printing in Ghost from the Past 2. But before that had 5 printings, so this would make it its 6th one. And before the Ghost from the Past Ultra, as you can see on the screen, every version of this card, even the comics, were about $7. The Shonen Jump magazine being around 15 to 20. The Duelist Saga rarity, which is Antonio's favorite ultra rarity, is about $5 to $7 as well. Comics were about $4. Even the gold rares from Premium Gold, Infinite Gold being about $4 is a little bit crazy to me, just due to the fact that I am one of those players who don't really like the Premium Gold look. But just having the card in general was good for them, obviously. But this is another card where, although we got another accessible printing right now, so you can see that the Ghost of the Past versions are going for about 25 cents, maybe about 50 cents. Yeah, about 50 cents a copy. So, and if history repeats itself, this card should be about $5 to $7 by the end of the year if we don't see another reprint of it. With just how popular the Cyber Dragon deck is getting new ghost rares and arguably new support in the next, I think the next side set we get the Clockwork Knight, which is going to be a great card for him. So I 100% expect Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon to be a $10 card all across the board when that new Clockwork card comes out. So these ones you're probably going to be holding for about a good half year to maybe about 8 months. But if you can pick up copies at 25 cents to under $1 as long as you can, or as much as you can, by the time these cards hit $5, $6, $7, $8, you will be sitting on a fat stack. I guarantee that. And those will be my picks for today. So I appreciate everyone for listening to me in my section, but I'm going to shut up now and let the master over here, White Mexican, do his thing. So appreciate everyone for tuning into my picks, and you can follow me on Instagram at OTK_machines_YBO.
Thank you again for joining us, X. It's always a pleasure. And
no problem,
this was some really killer picks. In the next segment, we're going to move into a few cards that I'd like to highlight for you guys tonight. The first one is going to be System Down. This is the highest variant that we have. Original print downing out of Cybernetic Revolution as an high rarity of an ultimate rare. Really quick, I did wanted to take a look at the moderately played. So again, this is just for playability purposes because these are the mod play variants, but they are ultimate rare. They are first edition. So if you just want like a nice copy to play with, even though it's like really jacked up, these are going for like 15, 16, and they kind of trickle up after that. But if you want to actually get something that is going to be worth something in the long haul, lightly playeds are going to be about 48, and then they trickle up after that, and near mint copies are going to be about 65 starting market price. And there is a single stack of near mint for the collectors out there, one stack of 3, or a single play set for about 100. So really not a lot of availability specifically for the first editions. Now I don't recommend, if you guys are going to go in high rarity, go all out, get ultimate rare, get first edition. But if you guys just want an ultimate rare to play with, because this is, you know, a really cool side card, and one of the main reasons why I'm showing this right now is, yes, there's machines have a lot of options, they have a lot of support, and you have your classic Cyber Dragon players, which are always going to be, you know, hardcore fanboys. But more specifically, we're kind of transitioning into Therions, and Therions are machines, and I feel like Therions have kind of sparked a lot of interest into people developing different meta builds, specifically revolving around Theorons and machine tech cards and all that stuff. So that's specifically like kind of the rationale why I wanted to showcase this tonight. But if you guys want an Ultimate Rare Unlimited, I mean, I personally wouldn't really do that, but I mean, it is just for playability purposes, so, you know, to each their own. They're going to be about 20 bones for lightly played, and then near mints are going to go up to like 20 plus after that. So completely up to you guys on that. There are healthier alternatives for more affordable options, like the OTS Tournament Pack 2 Super Rares, which are the personal variants I have. I have a playset of these. I bought them a long time ago for probably $2 or $3, which is not that much far off of what they currently are in their market price. But they are OTS, they are super rare. I'm very much a big fan of super rare OTS cards myself, and this is the only other holo variant that we have besides the ultimate rare for this. So starting market price for near mints are going to be about 6 bones, and then they trickle up after that. 2 pages availability. Again, this is near mint, lightly played, and we'll check out bulk prices. Bulk prices increases a little bit more to about a phantom under 9 for the first stacks here. So again, that's another alternative. Looking at all the variants, there's original rare, again, out of the main core set, Cybernetic Revolution, and a few commons, and then there's even a Dark Revs 4 for all you Dark Rev lovers out there. So pretty interesting. Maybe you'll see play, maybe not. Personally, it's very situational. It's very specific, but you know, it's an all-round pretty well-rounded card if you pull it off right. So next is going to be Hieratic Dragon of a set. So this got a holofoil reprint out of the original or first Ghosts from the Past, of course, as an ultra rare. And for the longest time, this was a solo print common. I believe it was Galactic Overlord. We'll go ahead and take a peek in that in a little bit to check that. But I think this card is extremely underrated. I think this has amazing potential to off-spark combos that people aren't really thinking about. Yes, it's somewhat non-generic. It's a little bit situational because you have to go specifically for a dragon build, but I mean, like, come on now, dragons, spellcasters, machines, whatever it may be, there's so many options that you have. These type of decks have so much support. They're always getting continuous, like, truckloads of support, and there's a lot of different type of dragon decks that are really good, and dragons are always going to be popular. They're always going to be good. They're always going to be getting some really nasty support, so that's not really a big deal. One thing that I think is really cool about it, I mean, how you can convert all the levels of your heretic monsters is really cool. That's more specific towards the archetype. But this is what I think is really special about this card. There isn't too many cards that give you such versatility. So when it's tributed, you can special summon one dragon type normal monster, a little exclusive. But where it says from the hand deck or graveyard is really incredible. Even though it makes its attack 0, it's a vanilla, it's not going to have effect, it's not really going to do much. The sheer fact that you can rip a card from anywhere essentially on the game state is really incredible, and you can summon it for free without tributing if you want to use your normal summon. But there's plenty of easy ways to special out dragons from your hand. It's really not a big deal. And I just think that's incredible, and I was really excited that we finally got a holo variant, and even for near mint first edition stacks, like all across the board, because Ghost of the Past 1 is still very new on the market, relatively new in my personal opinion, and it's insanely affordable. It's like, you know, a quarter bone, 0.25 bones all across the board. And then we have the commons again, which, and the thing, like, I really feel like the quality, I'm not a big fan of ultras in general, but more specifically for like Ghost of the Past, and I know I can't be the only one, I feel like the quality of Ghost of the Past ultras is just really bad. I don't really know much.
It's the card stock, yeah.
They're just,
they've been using the card stock from the side.
and they come off just like so light, like almost like someone like dipped them in water, and like the ink is kind of just like draining out of them. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So that's really all we have. I mean, if you wanted to go for the original commons first edition, they're insanely affordable too. Personally, I went in and bought a couple copies of the first edition ultras, even though they don't look really good. They are the highest rarity, and they're the only holo foil variant that we have. But an all around pretty
for
cool.
a couple pennies, you know, you can't really go wrong.
Yeah, food for thought. Next is going to be Necro Valley. So this is going to be the Astral Pack 4, highest rarity we have here in the TCG as the ultimate rare. So I know that some people are teching in. I don't remember specifically what deck it is, and actually you can probably tune in on this. There's a deck that I think it's for is it like Prank Kids, or I'm not really sure. What's the deck that sides in one Banshee to whip out Zombie World to completely shut down?
Despia. Despia, okay. And most of the Synchro decks will use Shooting Riser to send it, or Despia can just use Brain Infusion and send Fallen Albaz and the Dark Monster, and the Dark Monster would be Necro World, or Necro Banshee.
Right, so that's a pretty good popular tech choice right now, and it's very strong, and apparently it's working. A lot of people seem to know about that combo and kind of that tech choice. I think that this may not be as strong, but I'm showcasing this kind of as just like a generic card in general. I love Gravekeepers. Like, I'm a huge Gravekeeper fanboy. I've loved Gravekeepers for a very long time, and it's one of my favorite decks, but I'm not really showcasing it specifically for that. It's more so of the anti-meta aspect of this card. Yeah. And more specifically, it's for the cards can't be removed from play. So, like, nothing, magic, trap, monster, nothing can be removed from play, which I think is really incredible. It's very, very strong. I mean, for years, and it always will be, the graveyard is such a big factor in the game state, and it's such a big engine for so many decks. And even nowadays, more specifically, like recycling cards, usually you recycle cards by sending them to the grave and then removing them and then getting off-spar effects and doing some kind of recycle factor. And this completely takes that away for the majority of decks that try to do some kind of recycle or double up on their effects and their cards in the grave, which is really, really strong. And then, of course, cards can't be removed. So, like Monster Reborn, Call the Haunted to do some, like, classic simple special summons from the grave. That is another, like, really big slap in the face for a lot of certain decks too. So there's two really strong factors that go to this card that really affect the game state that I think is really, really strong. And again, this is just it may be a little biased because, again, like it's a Necro Valley, it's a Gravekeeper's card, but it doesn't have to be. Like, this can be very much an anti-meta card and like just a nice tech choice if you can play around it with your own deck. Near mint copies are going for 110 bones starting market price. There is a stack here for about that price, and there's about 2 pages of availability. That's for near mint. If you guys want to get a lightly played, you can. I personally wouldn't, because if you're gonna go out, you're gonna go ultimate rare, you're going for collectability purposes. Now, this may just be like white Mexican theory, but you would never catch me dead playing a near mint ultimate rare Necro Valley. If I have a near mint ultimate rare Astral Pack 4, which is insanely old now, Necro Valley, that thing is going in 2 sleeves, and it's going in a top loader, and it's going in my closet. Like, I would not play that card. It's just going to continue to get harder to get, and it's going to continue to articulate value over time. Personally, I love the supers. I have several copies of the first edition Pharaonic Guardian, super rare, magic stamped, like OG original Pharaonic Guardian. But this is very much a collector's card. So if you can go for a lightly played, and lightly playeds are pretty much almost about the same price here, it looks like. I don't remember what I said.
You probably get like $10 cheaper, something like that.
So yeah, and not even. I mean, it's not worth it, because near mints are 110, and the lightly playeds are like 5-6 bones left. They're like 106, 4-5. So it's not worth it. If you're gonna get this, it's for collectability purposes, and you need to go near mint. I highly recommend that you only get near mint for this. So just be aware of that. And then, of course, there are several other really great variants. There's a Dual Saga Ultra Rare, which I'm all over that. Legendary Collection 3 Yugi's World, which is one of the most infamous sets of all time to me personally. Love that set. And then, of course, you have the Dark Revs Super Rares, which are over here. Mirrored Super Rares, which are really cool for Dark Rev collectors. I'm starting to get into Dark Revs and Dark Beginning a lot myself. Yeah. And then, of course, you have the original Generation 1 Legacy Pharaonic Guardian Super Rares, which probably are probably faring not too bad. Just out of curiosity, looking for near mint versus, which really,
note too.
Yeah, about 5-6 really not that bad. There's probably not going to be too many stacks, if any. It goes about to 15 for stacks. That's for near mint first edition. Again, those are the variants that you're going to be going for if you're going for this variant, because it's all for collectability value at that point. But that's pretty much all I have to say on that. That's all we have for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys found some value in this video. If you've enjoyed this content, please be sure to share it with a friend. And X, is there anything else that you would like to say tonight before we sign out?
No, I appreciate you guys having me on. Definitely feel as though your picks were very good. Necro Valley is another good card that can stop cards you said like Furion's in the meta, and it's probably, as a side note, one of the, I think, the most errated card in the game. So having the ultimate, the highest copy of that is also a good solid investment. So very nice picks, and if you guys like the content in this video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below so you can help Antonio's little algorithm, and I appreciate you guys having me out here.
Thanks again, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.